All right, so hey, how's everybody doing? I'm Travis Brown from Horror Movies Uncut, and I am here to talk with Tyler and Johnny and Avery from the film Mermaid, which I believe you guys are getting ready to go to the premiere at South by Southwest here shortly. So I'm excited that you guys have taken a couple minutes to talk to me about the film. I got a chance to watch it last night, and I even rewatched it this morning because as a child of the 80s, this movie hit me in a lot of ways. So Tyler, I'm going to start off with you. I think the best question to kick off is, what's one thing about Florida that makes it stand out from any other place in the world?
Oh man, there's so many things. You know, it's wild. I think it's the most wild state in the country. It's filled with irony, and it's it's ugly and pretty at once. The people in it are just crazy. There's so many different kinds of people, from suburban house moms to beach bums to, just the everyday Florida man, fisherman. There's just a lot going on there. And to me, it's humor. I think it's humor based first. I just get a kick out of it. I grew up there. I spent my, a lot of my childhood there. And even as a kid, I was like, this is crazy. This is a really wild place. And it's all of the above.
Where did you shoot most of the film? Where did you actually shoot Mermaid?
We shot it all in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, I'm a Tampa guy. So
I grew up in Tampa.
I thought that was St. Pete the whole entire time. And I was
you see the Don Cesar. You remember the Don Cesar?
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up.
Tried to put that in as much as we could.
Okay, awesome. Great. So then here's my question for Johnny. When we look at a character like Doug, like how easy is it for you yourself to blend in to the wonderful burnt surroundings of the people of this part of Florida?
Gosh, I mean, I feel like that's the beauty of Florida is they take all kinds.
Yeah.
And anyone can fit in, really. But as far as becoming Doug and fitting into Doug, it was just a process of, I don't know, we went through being in his house helped a lot,
Okay.
and being at the beach, because we're in St. Pete. The story takes place there as well. So I lived and breathed it from the moment I arrived. Is the second you get there, you just just the humidity and seeing ospreys everywhere and geckos and all this stuff. It's just you're in it, so there's not really any kind of a transition. You're living in the thing that you're doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Florida accepts you more than anything else. So, Tyler, I'm going to ask you this, and then Avery, I'm going to have you piggyback on him with this. So when we think of like mermaid stories, we're often, thinking of these beautiful fairy tale gorgeous creatures, but in this particular film we see a different type of mermaid. We see something that I think, if you're more familiar with like classic folklore and tales of fishermen and things like that is the type of mermaid you might expect to see from something like that. Where did you get the idea for this mermaid? And Avery, your question is, tell me how this process was of becoming Destiny and kind of what you had to go through to become Destiny.
I think that I always wanted to make a mermaid movie, and first of all, I think it started from a place of humor. Just to have a character like Johnny playing straight across from a hideous mermaid is just funny to me on the surface. But at the same time, it makes it more interesting when you think about the mythology. Like, who says they have to be beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Disney, I guess, says that. And then there was a TikTok years ago that I saw when I was first working on it, where it was a man out at sea by himself, and he's just recording himself on a boat, and he heard this really horrifying sound. And I think that was the first implant in my mind where I was like, okay, I think there's something there that could be really interesting. And people have done scary mermaids before, but I really wanted to do this is from the Gulf of Mexico, this almost like too real, and
Florida mermaid is what this is.
Yeah, exactly.
So Avery, tell me about this character. Like, what was that process like? What type of transformation was involved with you becoming Destiny? Not to give anything too much away, but
big transformation from what I am like now to what she looks like is a lot of hours, a lot of time,
Right.
and just a lot of perspective for her too. Like watching the layers of Destiny kind of come on me, and I learn more about her as I see myself in her in the mirror. It's a really interesting feeling, like watching yourself go away. Like
Okay.
at first I didn't see myself in her at all.
All right.
And as I was wearing her, I was like, oh, I see myself, and I can feel the beauty within Destiny, even though no one can really see it out of her until there's a connection between her and someone else, or like someone finds love for her. That's where I feel like you can feel the beauty from her character, but she doesn't come across that way. So I kind of had to develop and feel her ugliness and show the beauty through her ugliness.
It actually does come through well.
Yeah. I got
But
you.
it does come through in the end of the movie. It does come through
Yeah.
a little bit.
Also, the thing was, because when you see the final Mermaid, you're not seeing Avery's eyes, but when we're working together, I could see Avery's eyes. With the one part of her I could see, and so you filtered through the Mermaid. It's like this. It's this new thing. It's like this hybrid eyes. So I am seeing someone who's very alive because I'm looking in your eyes, but also this thing on top of it, and it created like just. I mean, I don't have to do any acting at all. I just look at the Mermaid. It's all there.
Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of that in the film where you guys were able to just kind of play off of each other in so many great scenes. But I think the best thing about Doug's character, and Johnny, I want you to kind of dig into this a little bit, is when you're in a place like Florida, a guy like Doug, you see guys like this at every single gas station. And there's a way that they just kind of are always there. Like, how were you able, talking about earlier when we were talking about how you blend into the people in Florida, but like, were you able to like find a way to make yourself kind of exist in your own path throughout all the stuff that's going on in this film?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely happened. I grew my hair out. I stopped shaving for the longest I ever have in my entire life. And so I've never looked like the way I look in the film. I've never looked that way before. So that helped a lot. It made me feel encumbered by sort of like because Doug's trying to hide in a sense. Yeah. For me, it's not so much getting in, but getting out. I definitely had a month or two after we filmed that I was, it was not good. I was in a bad place, I think, because I was kind of stuck in Doug, and I got a haircut and I did a bunch of things. And one of my friends, honestly, he said to me, he's like, "Hey, I'm kind of worried about you, man." So it's never the getting in, it's the getting out.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, Tyler, like, to kind of wrap this up, and I really thank all you for your time. Like, I really enjoyed Mermaid. I have friends that are going to the screening, and I've already texted them and told them, I can't wait for you guys to give me your reactions from it. Doug's a very layered character, Tyler. The story, I think, is way more layered than what's kind of given in the synopsis and things like that of what people can see. What kind of storytelling do you want to see in films these days, Tyler? What's the stuff that excites you, that makes you want to sit down in a theater to get ready to see a film like Mermaid?
I love like you said, I love the 80s, I love the 90s. I think fun is I know that sounds like a simple word, but just fun again, like just movies that are a little bit interesting, left of center, maybe makes you think a little bit, but not too much. I like to go on a ride when I go to the movies. I like to feel full when I leave. Like, that is the end of the movie. Some movies are great because they have ambiguous endings, but I tend to lead, I like structure. I like a fairy tale and a bookend, and I like things to be wild. All my favorite directors are crazy, and
I love that.
Taking left turns and you won't expect it, and so all of that stuff,
Yeah, this movie is crazy. Avery, what's something you hope people take away after seeing Mermaid?
I hope that they just appreciate like the commitment that Doug has to this crazy mermaid. Like, even the character that Doug is, and like, it's very different, it's very unique, and I want people to continue to like accept the things that are different from each other, and like just love the comedy, but also the horror behind her and behind the movie, and just like to be able to digest it and be like, yeah, like maybe I did fall in love with the mermaid, maybe I didn't. But that uniqueness is something that like we still see day to day, even though we don't see crazy mermaids on the street. But you know, loving and connecting with each other, even though we're all different.
That's awesome answer as well. Johnny, what about you to wrap it up? What's something you hope people take away after seeing Mermaid?
I mean, you said it already. You watched the movie a second time after you saw it.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Right.
If everyone wants to watch it again if they saw it, there's nothing better than that.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Well, best of luck with the screenings all week. Enjoy your time down in Austin. You guys got great weather going on down there right now. So I really, really hope you guys enjoy what your reactions are for the film. And then best of luck with the film from this point on. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very, very welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.